Hello everybody, my name is Mark, something a little different as I wait for the market to open. It's the weekend and normally I like to do, as you know if you watch my videos, I like to do videos on stock options, investing and money, but a little break here, gonna do a video on a game of chess that I played about a couple weeks ago at the Palma Chess Club, and I actually got the website up right here. This is where I like to play. La Palma Chess Club. It's located in La Palma, California, which is in Southern California, about 10 miles away from Knott's Berry Farm. So I played this game about a couple weeks ago, and I won this game. But I'm not afraid to do videos if I lose a game either. Just like with money, if I make a bad trade and I lose money, I'll do a video about my losing money. But I happened to win this game, and so thought I'd go ahead and do this video. And I like to play chess tournaments. It's a good mental workout, keeps my brain sharp, keeps me healthy, and it's a fun hobby. You meet people, and also just it's good, teaches you how to think, how to use your mind. And so I won't say the name of the player that I played, but he is in this directory right here. You can go to La Palma Chess Club players, and I did play one of these guys. And if we scroll down far enough, there I am right here. That's me. And this is a picture on the left. That's me. Picture was taken June 15, 2018, and this is me, May 6, 2005. And you can see still losing my hair way back then. So no getting out of that. So back to the game here, and so let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you the game. And so I got the games plugged in to this website. This is lightchess.com. I got it on their game analysis, which is Stockfish, which is a pretty good, strong computer. So I was the black pieces and he was the white pieces. So he played e4, I played e6, d4, d5, and this is called the French defense. I like to play the French defense because it's very simple opening, very not a lot to memorize with the French. You know when you play the French, you're going to get this pawn chain, you're going to have a bad light squared bishop here. He pushes, and you're going to have, I have a bad bishop there. So one of my plans, one of my goals in the game is to try to trade this off somehow. And also try to make it to the end game, because if I can make it to the end game, and historically, typically, black has a better pawn structure and will typically win the game. At least that's been my experience with this opening. So he plays e5. That's called the advance. I play c5. He goes c3, knight c6. This is all book. He goes knight c3. I play bishop d7, bishop to d3, queen to b6, and castle. And this is the first move to take note of. Okay, so when he castles, he's giving up this pawn. And I will oblige him and take the pawn. Okay, he could have guarded the pawn, or he could have even took the pawn, right? But he chose to come here. And the name of this move, or this opening, is called the Barry Milner Gambit, and it willingly gives up a pawn, hopefully to get some activity and some development. In my opinion, it's a shady opening, and this particular person that I play likes to play openings like this, and he's a rather tactical player, which is one of the reasons why I play the French defense against him, because I have better results playing these slower French defense positional kind of openings against players like that than I were if I were to play the Sicilian, or if I were to play an e5 opening. So I take the pawn, he takes the pawn, I take the knight. And one thing to take note is that if he even tries coming there and he thinks he's going to pin me, I can just snag his knight like that, and it's no big deal. And then he could take back with the queen, and then I could just snag another pawn like that. So he doesn't want to do that. So going back to the game here, he takes and then I take. Now, one of the tricks of this opening is that this. Let me go back a few moves. This move right here, one of the reasons why I move my bishop there is for this particular trick. Okay, if that bishop wasn't there and I were to move a different piece somewhere, I don't know, maybe go bishop here or something, then if all of that nonsense happened, then he could come down and check me, right? But and to make it more clear, let me go back to the move. right there, and then it's his move, and he could check me, and it would work because that bishop wouldn't be there, right? And then I would lose my queen because I'd have to get out of check somehow, and I lose my queen. So that's one of the tricks of that opening, and that's one of the reasons why I move my bishop right there. So it avoids that particular trick. So anyways, so he gives up a pawn, and then he comes here, and this is the trick, okay? It looks like I can take a free pawn, right? But this is one of the tricks of the opening, because now he comes here with the rook, and now I got to move my queen somewhere. And I don't want to put the queen here. There's not a lot of good space. I don't want my queen out in the middle of the board. I don't want it to be a target. All my pieces, like my rook down here, my knight down here, my bishop down here, none of these pieces have moved, and his pieces are poised to come out. He's got a rook in the game, he's got a bishop in the game, he's got a knight in the game. I got one bishop here. None of my other pieces have hardly moved. So that's one of the tricks of this opening. And so I got to move my queen somewhere. Now if I come here, he can take this guy, and I can't take because it's pinned by the rook, this rook right there. So it's a trick, and so I've learned not to take that free pawn, and I've learned just to move the queen back, and that's what I did in the game. I just moved the queen back, and I'm up a pawn, right? No tricks, no frills, nothing. And so his move, and he comes there, and I go there, and he moves there, and the reason why he moves there is because he wants to move his pawn, and I think strategically he probably should move this pawn like this, and then maybe get his bishop out like that, because I haven't castled and these pieces haven't moved, and I don't think he's justified in thrusting his pawns. And let me go up a minute here. I don't think he, and also it opens him up a little bit. His king is not quite as snugly safe. So I come here, and he moves there, and that move didn't even make any sense to me. I don't even know why my opponent did that. It really doesn't make any sense, because with his rook there, he can just keep pushing his pawn and maybe push other pawns. You know, if he wants to do that, why is he going to take his piece there? So I didn't really understand that move. It's not a blunder per se, but I didn't think it was a very good move. And so I castle here. This was probably my first move where I'm scratching my head and thinking, is this really the thing that I want to do? But I know darn sure that I didn't want to like castle over on this side, because I thought, well, he's going to push his pawns. But maybe I should have, because he did move his rook away. Maybe he's got some kind of different idea. But maybe it's all like a decoy. Maybe he did that to try to decoy me to do this, and then like he could maybe push up there, and then if I castle, he's got, you know, all sorts of pressure on me. You know, I'm not calculating anything. I'm just thinking strategically, right? So he moved his rook here, and I castled here, and I castled there because I didn't want to castle on the other side for the reasons I just explained. And so he moved there, and then he's attacking my queen, and then I come here, and he moves back. Now, obviously, I can't do that because he takes there, right? So when he moves back, I come there with the bishop, and now it's his turn, and this probably was his first not so great move. Okay, he doesn't have to move that knight still. One of the things in chess is when you don't have to make a move, you know, you should probably get other pieces in the game. Like, I think he probably should have did something like that, you know. But he chose to come here, and that's fine, and that's what he did. And so I came up there with the knight, and I feel like that my position's starting to get good. Now, the first point is that this pawn right there is under attack. Okay, I can take that pawn, fork his queen and his bishop. Right, so he has to do something about that. And so he guards it like this, and now my bishop is open. This is a clear diagonal for me, and so I feel like that my position is starting to get good. And now I come here, and he comes there. Okay, and I can understand that move. He wants to get his king out of the way so he can move his knight somewhere. And so I take his bishop, and he takes a queen, and I felt very good when I was able to take his knight with my light square bishop, because if we go back to the game here, and again, this is the French defense. French defense has a bad bishop. Why is this a bad bishop? Because this bishop can move around these squares like this, but this bishop is all boxed in. So later in the game, as I said earlier, one of the plans of this particular defense, or this opening, is to get rid of that light bishop. So when he did that, and I came there, let's keep going, let's go to the game. When I did that, I felt very good, and I thought, wow, I'm doing pretty good. Okay, and so he did that, and I came here, and he missed a shot here. He did this. He took with the bishop, but what he should have did was took with the rook. Why with the rook? Because I don't have a bishop here, right? And so now he's equalized the pawns. I'm no longer up a pawn, and I can't take his piece, because if I go there and he goes there, I got to move my queen somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to move it. I don't want to go there, because if he comes there, I take like that, and he comes there. I mean, I think he missed a shot. He should have took with the rook, but he took with the bishop, and that allowed me to do this. Now, if he takes with the rook, let me go back to the rook move, and I go there, then I think he's got some good moves that he can make. Maybe he can come there or something and box my bishop in. But he didn't do all that, right? He took with the bishop, and so I went there, and then he went there, and so I moved my king out of the way, and now he starts taking pieces, and now I feel like already the game is going in my favor, and I'm probably going to win the game because my pawn structure is better. So takes, takes, takes. And right here, this is probably the critical position of the game, I feel like. And this computer on Stockfish is a very strong computer. It only gives me a 0.4 advantage, but I feel like the game is over. The reason why I think the game is over and I'm going to win is because, let's see, what's he do? He did that, but he could have did anything. He could have did anything. My pieces can go all over the place, and if he didn't do that, he can't put his rook there. He can't put his rook there. He can't put his queen anywhere. I basically occupy all of this part of the board. So even though this computer says it's almost a tie game, I feel like that the game is over and I'm going to win this game. So he did that, and I think the reason he did that is because right now, if it's my move, I can rook check him and pick off his pawn. So he did that, and then I came here, checked him, and he came up there, and then I came there, and now he's in all sorts of trouble. He's got a weak pawn down there, which he's got to guard, and he guarded it like that. If he didn't do that, I could have just took there, and I really probably would have checkmated him very soon. So now it's my move, and I come there, and now again I'm threatening checkmate I'll just make a random move, and this would be checkmate, right? The game would be over. So again, I'm threatening checkmate. So you can see the advantage of my position, and again, it goes all the way back to this. It goes all the way back to this part right here, because I own all this part of the board. I can move my pieces all over the place, and I don't see any way that he can fight me off. So strategically, I think I'm winning the game here. So when he came there, again, back to the game, and so he guarded me there, and I came there threatening the checkmate, and so he pushed the pawn there, and now it's just free-for-all. So I check him there, and he has to get out of the way. He's got one reasonable move, and then I pick his pawn off, and then he moves there, and now the computer even announces checkmate 3, and I managed to find the checkmate in 3. It took me a few minutes to find the move, and I went there, and he came there. And if you want, just for fun, pause the video and see if you can figure out the checkmate in 2. And welcome back. If you pause the video, the checkmate in 2 goes like this. Push the pawn there, king down there, and then checkmate, game over. So I was happy to win a game. I haven't been playing chess a lot, tournaments. Partially because it's a time thing. When I play chess is a game that I've spent a good chunk of my life trying to master, and it's very hard to get good at chess, especially when you're playing in these chess tournaments. But if you play chess tournaments, you actually have a ranking, and you can even go to my history right there, and we can look up my ranking. And if we go down to, let's see, I haven't done, this is the USCF, United States Chess Federation, and maybe it's under here. And so I'm about, my rating shows 1804, but it's going to go up a little bit because that game I won is going to bump my rating up a little bit. So chess is a game I spent a good chunk of my time trying to master, and master is if you can get this number up to 2200. If you win, your rating goes up. If you lose, it goes down, and so on, right? And so that's the game. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this was a nice game. I think the French defense is a great opening. It's a very simple opening to understand. You don't have to memorize a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of other openings, a lot of memorization, but not this one. This one, all you got to know is that you got a bad bishop here. You want to try to trade this thing off. You want to try to fight off white if he goes for any gambits like this person did on me, and you want to try to make it to the end game. If you can make it to the end game and you can get rid of your light squared bishop, then you're probably going to win the game. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a nice little break, and come next week I'll do some more videos probably on stock options and investing, try to make a little money. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in some other videos. Have a good day.